My daughter's boyfriend left her in the ER with their sick baby because he couldn't handle being a dad. I kicked him out myself. 3 years later, he came back married and expecting, asking if my daughter could forgive and forget. I was 19 when I gave birth to my daughter. Her name was Mia. She had this tiny tuft of dark hair and these huge brown eyes that never seemed to blink. I remember the nurse saying she looked like she was already trying to understand the world. At the time, I was living out of a friend's spare bedroom and working 2 jobs just to keep from going back to my stepdad's place. He was the kind of man who liked to keep things quiet, and if you stepped out of line, he made sure you regretted it. I never talked much about him, but that silence came from fear, not forgiveness, and it played a part in everything that came after. Component placement, and if you made noise, he made sure you remembered not to do it again. Mia's dad wasn't in the picture. He had ghosted me the second I told him I was pregnant, said he had to go visit his brother in Texas and just never came back. Honestly, I didn't expect him to. The only thing he ever brought to my life was chaos, the kind that shows up drunk at your apartment at 2 a.m. and punches holes in the drywall while crying about his ex. After Mia was born, things got harder. The friend I was staying with told me I had to figure something else out after a couple months because she couldn't afford to have a baby around. I applied for assistance, but it was slow. I kept going back and forth in my head trying to figure out how to make it all work. One night, I caught myself staring at Mia while she slept on a pile of folded towels because I didn't have a crib. She was so peaceful. I remember thinking how unfair it was that she had to start her life this way, that maybe she deserved more than what I could give her. I didn't make the decision overnight. I went back and forth for weeks. But one day, after Mia got a really bad cough and I couldn't afford the medicine her doctor prescribed, I broke down in a CVS parking lot and called a counselor I had talked to once about open adoption. Her name was Claire. She had this soft way of speaking, like nothing could shake her. I told her I wanted to find a family that would give Mia the kind of life I never had. Claire found them, Hannah and Greg, high school sweethearts who had been trying to have a baby for almost a decade. They looked like a toothpaste commercial. Greg had this big dopey smile and Hannah had the kind of eyes that made you want to trust her. I met them once, gave them Mia the next day. I didn't even cry when I handed her over. I waited until I got back to my place and screamed into a towel for an hour. I didn't hear much after that. Claire told me it was a semi-open adoption. They would send letters and updates through the agency. For a while they did. I got pictures on her first and second birthday. Then it all stopped. Claire said they moved and the new agency wasn't responding. Eventually I stopped checking. Life moved on. I got a job that paid decent. I moved cities, started therapy, stopped dating guys who wore backwards baseball caps and had no drama in their bios. But I never stopped thinking about Mia, not even for a day. 15 years later, I was in line at the DMV trying to renew my ID when I got a call. My boyfriend at the time, Marcus, had just walked out on me the night before, took half our stuff, didn't even leave a note. So when I saw a random number pop up, I almost didn't answer, but I did. And I'll never forget the voice on the other end. She said, "Hi, is this? Were you ever named Emily Carter?" My stomach dropped. I hadn't used that name in years. I changed it legally after the adoption. I asked who was calling and the girl said, "I think you're my birth mom. I'm Mia." I swear my knees almost gave out. The lady behind me asked if I needed to sit down. I didn't even answer. I just walked out of the DMV without saying anything. I sat in my car with the phone still pressed to my ear. Mia told me she had found my name on a document in her parents' safe after they passed away in a car accident a year ago. She'd been looking for me ever since. She said she didn't want anything, just to talk, just to know. We met the next day at a diner halfway between our cities. She was taller than me. Same eyes, same laugh. When she hugged me, I almost lost it. We sat there for hours, just talking. She